Hey everybody, it's Vector here. Uh, Glad to be back. I know it's been a while, but I got in a big boy job, I should say, as an operations director and had less time for YouTube. But since moved on from that position, and I'm in a new place where I have more time to uh, definitely trade and also put out content. So today I wanted to talk about my weekly performance. Um, when I'm abroad, I say abroad, I'm about 4.5 hours from where I am currently. I trade on a laptop, and I didn't know this about NinjaTrader. I guess it doesn't sync between devices, so I'm been trying to get my text and markers to actually plot on a chart, and it's just not going to happen. So instead, what I have to do is go to Edgewalk, which is a digital journaling service. I just started actually this week. I've been doing it manually for a long time, but um, Edgewalk seems pretty powerful. I definitely haven't finished unlocking all of its secrets per se, but I definitely have been working on it. So, and I also have a couple of screenshots from the Discord, and I should probably start here. So, this was actually on Tuesday. Uh, the majority of my trades will be in the micros as I get back in the swing of things, just for full transparency. So, this was on the 23rd, and you could see different executions. So blue is buying, and then green is a winning trade. Green line here. This is a lot of these setups on this particular day were low volume nodes, and I will be going over different setups and strategies in future videos. But for this one, I ended up buying pretty close to the open. Open is this yellow line, 74.30, and the reason why I bought is because I see a pin bar here, and we had gap down Monday. We created this gap and we opened up much, much lower. And I see this buying pressure in bars 1 and 2, and I decide that I know that 74.72 is a key level. I believe we're going to go up to test it, and I ended up selling fairly close to it. And my next trade was I ended up selling two contracts at 74.80, 150, and it at face value it might seem, wow, there's what, you know 9 bull bars in a row. The gap is much higher. Maybe they were trying to go for a gap fill. Why would you even attempt that? Well, hard to see in a screenshot, but you can see here towards the top of the range of what would be the high of day. I didn't know at the time. Uh, the volume starts to taper off. All these, all this volume profile, all these little bars here, all it means is the amount of contracts that have been traded, right? So if the volume starts to taper off at these price points near the top, and we're putting in bear bars, all that means is that there's not enough people buying, and it could be a good opportunity to short, which I did take my opportunity. I did not want to risk very much, and I ended up buying at low volume nodes. Harder to see now that it ended up developing throughout the day. However, at the time it was a low volume, 74, 76, and I took essentially what would be a scalper's trade. At the time I didn't know it would be high of day, but I'm still happy with how it worked out. Something to definitely consider is being less hands-on with trades once they've been executed. I have been doing some digging, and it seems as if the more I mess with the trade, the less profitable I am. So, but more on that to follow. Still am researching my own statistics with that. Moving on, we'll go to sell at 74.8050. Once again, I sold uh, on tapering volume at the at that time. It was the volume point of control, which is the price where the majority of contracts have been traded so far during the day. I ended up selling there. I bought a low volume node, and then it's just a rinse and repeat throughout this whole day, right? I can't remember if this price was met. I guess I can just look at the chart. Yeah, it was met that day. So it was a pretty good day. Pretty good day on Tuesday. Can't complain too much. All right, let's go to Edge Wonk. Um, so these are from Tuesday the 23rd. It's from the 24th through the 24th through the 25th. I did not take any trades on Friday. I was too busy to do so. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you can see I really favored low volume notes this week. I really favored low volume notes this week, and it ended up making me pretty good money. You know what can I say? I won't be as in detail too much, but it's all similar setups. I'm just buying and selling at level. I bought at the open, once we pretty close to retesting. I sold at 74, 68, 74, 72 area, and I'm rinsing and repeating on these low volume nodes. This one, same screenshot. Don't want to bore you guys too much. What do we do here? This is the sell from up here to here. Selling the volume nodes. This was a loss. Let's see. Okay, I see. I bought this was it's hard you can't see on the screenshot 74.15, but I bought it and then I got nervous. That was the problem. Let's see what I wrote about it. If anything. I didn't write anything about it. Probably should, yeah. Yeah. I can tell you right now, looking at that screenshot, I got nervous. I think there was a lot of selling pressure on this day, and I got nervous that we were gonna break this day. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me, it's actually this day. But the same thing. Okay. See one that's not a low volume. Let's check out this loser. So this breakout loser is good. It's good. If any of you have seen my other video about trading breakouts, you really want time and space away from the breakout. That way, on a higher time frame, it looks better. Plus, if there's not time and space away from a breakout, it's probably a trap. This is a perfect example. So this was on the 25th. Let's go to the chart. All right. My levels also do not, for reason, it doesn't sync up. So I know I had 74.15 marked here. I'll make that a different color so it's easier to see. So what I did was I sold this bull bar before it was this big. I ended up selling it, right? You see it now? I sold 74.08 and a quarter, which first off is not correct. I should be waiting for a retest with a limit order here to sell 74.15, but I was so eager. I had FOMO. If you're missing out, I had FOMO from missing all this selling pressure, right? Even in my old videos, I say the quicker we go into a level, the more likely we're going to reverse. And time and space with the breakout, I broke my rules there, and I paid the price for it. I lost, I believe it was 18 points or so. Let's see. 422, and not quite 18 points, but it was 14 points, so 14-point loss. Times 2 is 28, right? Because there was two contracts on that. Um, and then here, in this next trade, I was too quick to try to sell 74.72. So once again, my impatience is lacking. I sold 74.60s instead of waiting with a limit order at 74.72, which has been a great resistance spot, and I'll show you literally all week. In fact, it's going to be part of the weekly plan video that I'm going to be putting out tomorrow. It's beautiful, you know. But what do? I rush into the trade. I'm so worried thinking about this trade, like, oh, I got to make up my points, and Yeah, just very sloppy. But I was able to kind of cool down for a second in this next trade. I did everything right and more. So I ended up selling 74.69.50. Um, and you can't see the buy there, but my buy is 74.15. You can see this exit price here, 74.15. And I'm really proud of that trade because I didn't mess with it. I said, okay, if this is gonna work, if this idea is gonna work, it's going to have to. I'm gonna have to do it right. I'm gonna have to sell 74.72 or somewhere close, right? My stop has to be the high of it. I'm not. It can't be anything else. There's nothing. This is not gonna work. 74.72 or 74.91 and a quarter has to be my stop, right? And then where are we gonna go if we fail 74.72? Well, more than likely 74.15. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't change anything. It was just the idea, and I went with it, right? And then lastly, I had a ES trade. It was actually in Globex, and I sold a bearish channel. I also have a video on a bearish channel or just channels in general. I always feel weird to sell. Like if I wish I would have been selling up here, I should have been. I didn't. Something to learn from as I continue to journal and I notice these patterns about myself. Certainly something to learn from. I should have been selling quite a bit, but I just couldn't pull myself to do it. But I did eventually sell. I was like, okay, I know it's right. It's uncomfortable, but I need to do it. I did, and I um, made about 10 or so points off of it. I think a little bit less. I also have a note on it too. I'm glad I took the opportunity to do that. So it was good. Um, Overall, how do I feel about my weekly performance? I feel pretty good. I think I did more things right than wrong. Uh, Definitely some learned lessons. But for the most part, I was just selling highs and buying lows. And you can see from this week's journal, that's pretty much all I was doing: buying lows and selling highs. And we're in a range like this, I don't think you can ask for much more. All right, I'll have another video out tomorrow about a weekly outlook. Hope you enjoyed, and thank you.